Hello, welcome to the first part on the series of self-exploration, joining the dots, contemplating, comprehending and sharing with you all raw. All that sounds great is the grace of all those who bless me, and all that sounds not so great is my limitation. So let's get going. Gravitational force, Gurutvakarshana Shakti. What is gravitational force? By definition, gravity is well approximated by Newton's law of universal gravitation. We have learnt it in school. It describes gravity as a force. It is a force, naturally occurring force, causing any two bodies to be attracted towards each other, and the magnitude of this attraction is proportional to the product of their masses, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two bodies. Let's look at it in simple words. Gravity is the force that pulls, a force that takes the other body towards itself. It is a force that takes to the core, that converges energy in the inner direction towards itself. The bigger body pulls the smaller body towards itself in proportion to its mass. That is, the bigger body will pull the smaller body with a greater force, and the smaller body will pull the bigger body with a smaller force. Therefore, obviously, the smaller bodies experience a greater stability because they are pulled towards the bigger body with a higher force. That is why we feel the stability when pulled by the Earth's gravitational pull. In absence of this gravitational pull, we all would have been floating, like it happens on moon or all other celestial bodies with no gravity on it. Also, the lesser the distance in the two bodies, the higher is the pull. That is, as we go closer and closer to the other body, the effect of gravity is enhanced. Now looking at the other side of this word, gravitational force, which in Sanskrit is called as Gurutvakarshana Shakti. स्वतःकडे खेचून घेणारी शक्ती. जेवढे जास्त वस्तुमान आणि जेवढं कमी अंतर तेवढं अधिक खेचणारी, जेवढं जास्त वस्तुमान आणि जेवढं कमी अंतर तेवढं अधिक खेचणारी, अंतर्मुख करणारी, आत नेणारी, आधार देणारी. जसं पृथ्वी आपल्याला आधार देते, खेचून घेते पृथ्वी स्वतःकडे, त्यामुळे आपण स्थिर राहतो. भक्कम पाया देणारी शक्ती म्हणजे गुरुत्वाकर्षण शक्ती. Basic physics also says that gravity is still a mystery. What is gravity exactly? How it comes into being is not very clearly known to humankind still. Whether there are any typical particles that can be called as gravitrons, which are responsible for the gravitational force, or any such evidence to prove what this force of gravity exactly is. All we know that it is a natural force. The word Guru in Sanskrit is also the address used for a master. Now, whether the word Guru came first and from that the word Gurutvakarsan was coined, or was it the other way around? But Guru means a master in Sanskrit. And for the believers, in the auspicious presence and role of a master, those who believe that a master has a role and his presence is really auspicious in our transcendence, in our going beyond the material realms of the life. For all such believers, Guru Shakti is also a mystical force that works beyond common understanding and common logic. Those who have experienced know that it cannot be put into common understanding and common logic. In Marathi, we have a very beautiful poem written by a renowned poet, Kusumagraj. In the last line, he says, it is a dialogue between a teacher and a student, where the student has come devastated to a teacher due to flood breaking up his house and his family. And when the teacher consoles him and tries to give him some money, the student says, पाठीवरती हात ठेवून फक्त लढ म्हणा. I don't wish any material gains from you, any money or any material support. Just pat on my back and tell me, go ahead and fight, my dear. That is enough for me to stand erect and fight the situation. Such words of encouragement from a reverend, from the one towards whom we look as a master, they work like magic, and the one who have experienced this can know it the best. Can we relate this to the concept of gravity? The revered one, the master, is the one who has acquired a greater magnitude of wit and balance in his life, in his temperament. Such a master with a greater magnitude attracts, directs towards his own strength, and stabilizes the one who is weaker and is having a smaller magnitude of his wit and balance. And it is also inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two bodies. Closer in spirits to the strength of the master, more we believe in his strength, more we believe in his words, greater is going to be the effect of the stability and the pull he is trying to give us. Is that exactly the definition of gravity? The Gurutva Shakti? Another popular belief, which is condemned and despised by many people for their own reasons. It is said that one cannot meditate or transcend on a spiritual path without a guru. Guru bina gati nahi. If there is no guru, you cannot transcend on these paths. Can we decode this quote a little differently? Meditation. What is meditation? And what is the purpose and goal of meditation? When we meditate, we actually try to converge all our forces inwards, isn't it? We try to go to our core inside, stabilize ourselves in the presence of the power that resides within, our own gravity, the Gurutva Shakti. And if that is not the process of meditation, if we are not trying to converge, go within, it cannot be called meditation. In that sense, meditation is not possible without Guru, the gravity of it. The word Guru Diksha also has a whirl of controversy around it. Let us try to look at that also. The literal meaning of the word Guru is big. The Sanskrit meaning of the word is big. Laghu is small. And what is not Laghu, that is small, is Guru, that is big. So Guru is the one who is big. Big in what? Guru is an entity who is big-hearted, or rather it is a power that connects to us through an entity. The power which is big-hearted, it is empathetic, Vishala Hrudayi, Tarala, Sarva Samaveshak, all-encompassing, and Sarva Vyapi, omnipresent. It is big. So, what is being a Guru, or what is the meaning of connecting with Guru? It is transcending from the body consciousness, which is small, to the universal consciousness. That is, the scent, suppose, of an agarbatti locked in a room, and when we open the doors and windows of our room, the scent spreads in the whole cosmos. So transcending from body consciousness, the awareness of the life within, towards universal consciousness, that is, the awareness of life all around us, is becoming big, is becoming Guru. And this happens best under the auspices of one who has already experienced it, the Guru. When we say Guru Padi Amha Jane, it is going towards this post, Guru Pad, the post of Guru, or going towards this feeling of bigness, greatness. And it is not falling on the feet of some human form called Guru. Guru Pada is not the feet of Guru, it is the post of Guru. It is the conscience of Guru. And one who has already walked that path, he gives us some tips. It's very common. When we have to go to some place, don't we talk to someone who has been there multiple times for the route? Which way is the best? Where do we halt? Where do we take a break? Which is the tricky turn that you have to take right over there and not left? Whatever, small tips. The one who has gone there gives us the best tips. And if we walk, or if we follow the tips given by the person who has already travelled to that place, we may reach the destination with lesser ambiguity. We know at that junction that yes, my friend is told that like this junction will come, and at this junction you are supposed to take a right, or at this particular point you will get some halt a tea snacks, and after that for 3 hours there's nothing. So even if you're not hungry, eat at that point and then go ahead. Such small tips give us the confidence of our journey that we are on the right path and we are well guarded. Ikshana is to see. Ikshana is to see, and the is to give. So Diksha is the Iksha, is giving the vision. Such vision given by the Guru who is big, who has been to the destination we are on to, is Guru Diksha. Handing over the fishing rod, he is giving us a vision. So every time you need not come to me. Formula ही दे दी, आप जितने चाहिए उतने problems आप करो. No need to come to me for every problem. And once the vision is imparted, the seeker is all by himself. Real guides always emphasize this time and again. A good teacher makes himself progressively redundant. The more and more you don't need me, I'm happier and happier. I'm very happy to see you all by yourself, is what a good teacher always feels good about. He is never inclined on boosting his own ego by calling the student back to him again and again and showing him his own goodness. But when we confine our whole idea of this universal force of Gurutva to a human form, through a human form, this force connects with us, and the real conductors of this form or this power are well aware, and they would never want to get into that seat. But the controversy and misconception begins when some of these takers start taking it on human form level, and many of the givers start giving it to the human form. Those who take it in the right sense, the givers and the takers, they tarry without doubt. Others may stick to rituals, and some others start despising the same because they don't agree to such rituals. They cannot accept a human form being given this post of Guru because they do not understand that he is just a channel. This whole process is actually beyond words, and these experiences are very difficult, rather impossible to be put in words. See, if I wish to explain how a mango tastes to somebody who has never eaten it, can I explain? I can just tell it is sweet, but not like sugar. It is tangy, but not like lemon. So on. But to know the exact taste of the mango, one has to eat it. I can take you close to the experience by the rule of negation. Neti, neti. It's not like this, it's not like this, it's not like this. But how it is that one has to experience himself, and only then he will know how it is. So the guides can just take us close to the experience through words. They can take us to the shores. Maybe they can just dip your feet in the water. But then once you have dipped your feet in the water and you've experienced the bliss of it, you have to plunge into the waters, the deep waters. They can never give us that experience. We need to have a very deep gratitude in our heart for our guide who took us till that point, and then we have to reach that point ourselves. And when we reach the point, we realize that one who walked the path with me is the one to whom I wanted to reach. It's all our myth that we need to go somewhere, attain something. We are already there, already attained. It is just about unveiling the curtain. That's for now. We'll be there with some more such explorations. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching, rather listening.